Good morning, world.
Good morning. Today we're going to ask ourselves, what do these two gentlemen have in common? In order to find out, you got to stay tuned. But first, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and share our videos with everyone you know. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian. All right, Cedric, so I know these two gentlemen up here. Me being a football fan, you being a basketball fan. Everybody knows. These are kind of iconic guys.
Well, being a basketball fan and the other guy being a member of the Denver Broncos, which is my favorite
that's right.
football team.
That's right. What do they have in common?
Well, they're both very accomplished professional athletes and then at their heyday. They're both outspoken, brash commentators. They're both black. But other than that,
I didn't even notice that.
And this is actually kind of cool. I didn't think about this. They both have very differing views on race relations today and how the black community is viewed. So we're going to take a look at that today.
And you're probably asking, why do we care what a couple of athletes think when it comes to politics anyways? We shouldn't, but the fact is that not very many people watch social commentary on conservative values. You know, the majority of people get their information from mainstream still. Mm-hmm. That's just how it is. These two guys have a huge platform. Everybody who follows sports watches us, so they're getting fed stuff from these guys, and they care. We shouldn't care, but we do. So we're going to talk about it.
Remember when sports commentators talked about sports?
I know, man. It was,
what a glorious day that was.
What happened to, what's the guy with Muhammad Ali?
Howard Cosell.
Oh, yeah, Howard Cosell. First, we're going to play some commentary on the Georgia voting laws by Shannon Sharpe and his brilliant
Shannon, I want to start with you. What is your reaction here?
I like the move by MLB. I like they're taking a stand. And Skip, at some point in time, you're going to have to put action to your words. You say you're about inclusion. You say you're about doing the right thing. At some point in time, you have to put those actions into words.
So just to put this in context, this is about MLB moving the All-Star game out of Georgia, right, out of Atlanta. So yeah. I know we kind of skipped to
put those words into action. Yeah. And that's what they're doing, Skip. Now, you're going to be relegated to where you can take this game to. Because there's a lot of other states that's doing the exact same thing as Georgia. Texas, Florida. So Florida, you are.
What he's saying is there's a lot of the states out there that require ID for doing certain things like voting. So far, so good. He's right. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Texas, you're off the list. There are a lot of states that are doing the exact same thing that Georgia did. Now, Skip, what I don't understand, and this is what's confusing with me. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, was on the under ticket for President Trump. President Trump lost the election because of fraud, but they won the election. They won their Senate races. It was fair and square.
So he's doing what a lot of commentators do, even on news channels. He starts mixing things around. The reason that people are mad in Georgia is because they want to require ID. All right? I don't know why he's starting to bring in the elections of different people. I guess it's because they're all Republicans, and he's trying to pit them that, why are they against each other? But again, if you didn't watch our last video from 2 days ago, go watch it, because that is all on voter ID and how white liberals perceive black voters and that they can't even get an ID. So go watch that. So basically, Shannon's like throwing that in there. It's like, it's suppressing the vote by requiring ID.
I'm confused, Skip. How does that work? Well, the top guy lost, but my election was fair and square, so let's do something about it. Now, in 2016, we know for a fact Russia tried to interfere.
A fact?
Take that one.
We know for a fact. And it's weird because I haven't heard a lot from these this new job that was created recently, the fact checkers. Where have they been? I haven't seen them around lately.
And they got to go on vacation now that...
I guess they're on vacation. There's a new guy in office, so nothing needs to be checked anymore. This by Shannon Sharpe is an outright lie. And I have a saying that I used to say to a lot of my friends. I said, saying it loud doesn't make it right. There's a lot of commentators like there, Shannon Sharpe, Stephen A. Smith. They figure that the louder they get, the more they raise the tone of their voice. It's like, well, and some people will bow down to that. It's like, well, they're yelling, and they seem so passionate, they must be right. Nothing could be further from the truth. There was nothing they would have hung Trump if Russia had some type of input on the election in 2016, and it was proven over and over again they had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and the other thing with talking loud, also, you just say a lie over and over and over again, it becomes the truth. So right. Shannon's not the first person to say this, obviously. If you watch any mainstream news, they keep talking about how it is voter suppression to require ID, which is the most insulting thing in the world. And like I said...
Well, I like that profound statement he made earlier. It's like, chances are they're going to take this to another state that's going to have the same requirements. Like, you think?
Yeah. Instead, they took it to Denver, where there's much less black people.
It's a damn shame.
Good job.
Mitch McConnell would do nothing. He wouldn't even bring it to the floor. Now, you want to put these rights, because what they see, Skip, there's a changing of the guard. More people are becoming of age to vote, and they're minorities, and they're voting. So instead of changing your messaging and try to reach out to a new base, what do? We're going to try to restrict so you can't.
So there's the thing. Requiring somebody to show ID is a restriction.
It's a restriction.
Although, to go to the ball game and buy your tickets, you probably have to show an ID.
Right. To go to the concession stand and buy a beer, if that's your thing,
you gotta have
an ID.
Yeah,
but to vote, that's a restriction. They're trying to quelch the minority vote.
So, Shannon, I want you to watch a couple of clips from some Barkley white liberals right here, real quick.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
So, is that not insulting? They're using terms like those people, they, right?
Yeah. Especially for athletes. I mean, it's done for protection, because in this day and age, and we're talking about senior citizens a lot, voter ID, having your ID stolen is a huge thing. And if you're an athlete like a Shannon Sharpe, you're prominent, you're out there in the community, would you want someone walking into a jewelry store? Like if I walked in as a black man to a jewelry store and said, "Hi, my name is Shannon Sharpe. I want to buy this $10,000 ring." And they just give it to me because I say my name is Shannon Sharpe, wouldn't he appreciate the fact that I have to show ID to show that I am who I am?
But as you mentioned on the last video we did, this is all about allowing people to vote over and over again, or to have illegals vote, because the Democrats pandered to, like Cedric, this is just a gateway to allowing people that aren't even citizens here to vote. So now they're using this race card to say that it's really against black people, which is insulting, that they can't show an ID, when it's really a way for them to allow people that really aren't even citizens of this country, maybe not even of age, because we know the younger you are, the more likely you're going to vote Democrat. This is all just show. Shannon is part of the show, and it's sad that he's doing this.
It shouldn't be harder to vote than to get a gun. Now, what's wrong with that picture, Skip? You notice that they're making it harder for you to vote than to get that gun.
He's acting like the indignation. You need an ID, and you need to pay for that gun. You don't need to pay to vote.
I purchased a gun. The act of purchasing a gun is a lot harder than the act of voting.
I know, especially here in California.
So, I didn't have to pay to vote.
So Shannon, all he does is he looks at some tweet from some left progressive, and he just is repeating on here without doing any homework. It's sad that they let him do it. But you know what? It's because they know they're going to get
the funny part is that Skip, poor guy, he's got to keep his job. He's sitting there like a member of the church saying like, say it, Pastor. I agree with you. I think he's like the Flavor Flav to Shannon Sharpe's, it's like he's the hype man.
Or he's like the midget to Kid Rock.
Right, right.
Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to use that term, huh?
Little person.
Canceled.
Yeah, little person.
All right, so have we had enough of Shannon?
Yeah, I've had too much of Shannon. Right. Shannon not too sharp.
Nah. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to put that in the hashtag, Shannon not too sharp. All right, now we're going to get to Sir Charles of the Barkley.
Charles in charge. He's going to say whatever's on his mind. And again, we're not bowing down to Charles Barkley and say, oh, he's right because he believes in what we're saying. I think he's just being objective and saying, what me and Brian have been saying all along is that the only race relations that have been caused by the media. This division between black and white, left and right, it's been caused by the media, and Charles Barkley speaks out on this at the Final Four recently.
Yeah, and I think somebody had a good shirt. It's like the media is the enemy of the state or something. It's so true. If they didn't keep putting this narrative out there for clicks and for ratings, our world would be so much better.
Yeah. Let's listen to Sir Charles.
Man, I think most white people and black people are great people. I really believe that in my heart. But I think our system is set up where our politicians, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, are designed to make us not like each other so they can keep their grasp of money and power. They divide and conquer. I truly believe in my heart most white people and black people are awesome people, but we're so stupid following our politicians, whether they are Republicans or Democrats. And their only job is, hey, let's make these people not like each other. We don't live in their neighborhoods. We all got money. Let's make the whites and blacks not like each other. Let's make rich people and poor people not like each other. Let's scramble the middle class. I truly believe that in my heart.
And the classic line that Charles always said, "This is just terrible."
Terrible.
And
I like going back to Tom McDonald. People so stupid.
So stupid. He said it well. The fact that he said it on this platform, and it's a shame, me and Brian have talked about, it's a shame that politics have been interjected into sports. I know a lot of us have backed away from the MLB and NBA and NFL because it's been so indoctrinated of politics, and we want to get away from that. We want to watch a sports thing on the Sunday or in a weekday just to get away from it, but now it's interjected with all these commentators as they talk about everything that they want to talk about.
Yeah, and it's really... He's a huge Laker fan, and he went a whole year basically without watching the Lakers just because you can't stomach it, and it's a damn shame.
It's a damn shame. And this is great coming from Charles Barkley, and I have to just reminisce here a little bit. When the Dream Team went back to Barcelona back in '92, they had a class basically like saying, you guys are ambassadors of the United States. Here's what you can say, Charles. Here's what you can't say, Charles. It was joking, like saying, this is the Charles Barkley class.
Right.
And then the first game against Angola, he elbowed some 90-pound Angolan guy right in the chest and almost snapped the poor guy in half.
So, again, we just played two different athletes. One totally going woke. Charles is willing to say something like that shouldn't be controversial, but go look at all the tweets after it. It's controversial, and it's a shame.
That's Charles.
Yeah,
that's Charles. But it's like, and here's the thing, Brian said it earlier, it's like Shannon keeps putting his narrative out there over and over again, and if you listen to it and he gets loud and he gets bombastic about it, it's like, okay, he's right. You listen to Charles enough, he's right. It all goes back to what do you want to believe? Because whatever you're looking for, whatever you choose to believe, that's what you're going to see, that's what you're going to find.
Yeah. So I like Charles. Charles has said stuff in the past that, I said, good on you, Charles.
Yeah.
So you'll find it, and more people are coming out. We did a video a while back of the basketball player that decided to stand
for the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
And all he did is want to respect the flag, and then he took heat for that. And did you ever think you'd live in a country where the mainstream narrative was that we shouldn't be proud of our country?
Right. And he was telling his other players, he goes, I don't care if you kneel. That's fine. Do that.
Yeah.
But please respect the fact that I'm going to stand.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking that you do.
Thanks, Charles, for putting that statement out there. I know that takes much more guts than what Shannon did. Shannon's just feeding the narrative on the mainstream, just perpetuating the lie. Charles just said something that he felt honest, and he even, you could see the sincerity of what he said. That's what he believes. And he even says, that's what I believe. He wasn't trying to convince anybody. He's just giving his opinion.
Right. Right now, we're going to take a look at the comments.
I'm going to take this comment. This is from our Clown World Tom McDonald review.
That was a while back.
Yeah. Great video, though. Watch Clown World. So this one comes from Jason Henry. He simply says, I love the dynamics and vibe between you two. Liked and subscribed. He used a yellow thumbs up, so that's the neutral, right? Yeah. Oh, wait, let's do it like that. So, I think, and the reason, we've been friends for 20 years. We decided to do this because, especially in today's climate, I think people need to see, number one, that you can be black and a conservative, but that we can agree on some things, we can disagree on some things, we remain friends, and we want to share that with everybody. And we're getting feedback that says that they like the fact that we do this together. Although there was one guy who wanted Cedric to get rid of me. He called me I forget. He used some terms that I'm just not up on the lingo.
Right.
We'll leave that for another day. But I think that's the second person who's wanted you to go solo.
Right. But to be honest, we stumbled upon this quote-unquote niche that we have on YouTube because we just stumbled. We've been friends for 20 years. We have similar views. We're like, let's turn the camera on and start talking about how we see the world. And this is the outcome of that.
Yep. Don't forget, we're wearing our new camel hats. If you want these or any of those colors you see behind you, you can go on the link that I'm going to put for the hats and use this code for 10% off right now.
We got different colored hats because we believe in diversity.
That's right. Diversity of hats is our motto.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. We should be home from our vacation this week, and we'll be back here in front of the camera again. But make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and again, share our videos with everyone you know. Take care of each other, and until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. See you later.